Good morning. Good morning. Hi, Sully. Hi, Sully. Can y'all hear me? Good morning, Tina. Good morning, Julia. Let me know if you can hear me, please. I've been having some issues with the iPad not. Okay, you can. Thank you so much. Been having some issues with my iPad not wanting to work with me very well. But how's everybody doing this morning? Welcome. Good morning, Kelly. Good morning. Good morning. One day closer to Friday, guys. We're almost there. We're almost there. How's it going? What's everybody doing? How's the weather where everybody is? It's sunny here. I think it's going to be, I don't know. Let me look. I don't even know. Let me make y'all mad. Oh, well, it's in the 40s. It's 47 right now here. It should be almost 80 tomorrow and Saturday here. Tomorrow's your first live. Well, nice. What are you selling? Africats. Plants. What kind of plants? Nice. Nice. All right. Is this your first time selling plants or just your first time selling on this app? Alexa, play 70s on 7. 70s on 7 from Sirius XM. In the 40s in Wyoming, expecting the 50s. Oh, hey, the 50s is, yeah. On the plant pair, on the taxonomy? Yeah, sure. Hold on, I got to check notes on that one. Across the pond. Okay. So, you're a new seller here. Can you, do you have a nursery license? Then you shouldn't be selling plants. Sorry, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but if you don't have a nursery, what state are you in? Hold on a second. Let me back up. What state are you in? Washington? Hold on one second. Yep. If you sell any kind of horticultural plants, including rooted plants, starts, bulbs, ornamentals, you have to have a nursery license, a nursery dealer license. So no, it doesn't matter whether you're selling it from your living room or whether you have a big thing. I hate to burst your bubble. I don't mean to do that. But you can get in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. It's one of the reasons why a lot of people come in here, because I'm going to tell you like it is. I'll wish you good luck and everything like that, but I'm going to tell you that if you don't have a license, you can't be selling plants. Period. You really shouldn't be selling anything if you don't have a state seller resell or a reseller tax ID either. But, and my name's Pat, by the way. If anybody is new to the stream, my name is Pat. Every state has different regulations. And there are a few states that might not require you to have licensing. But if you're going to sell anything other than, and you need to check your state regulations on this, because like in Oklahoma, we could have 2 garage sales a year. I'll answer that question in just a second, Wonderful Roots. We could have 2 garage sales every year, 2 garage sales once a year, 2 garage sales every year without having to have any kind of a reseller tax permit. So it's called a reseller tax ID or a seller's permit or a sales tax ID. It comes from the comptroller of your treasury. You need to Google your state, how to get a reseller permit or a sales tax ID for your state. A lot of states, it's free. Like here in Texas, it's free to get that. But other states, it might cost 20, $50. Okay. A nursery license in Texas, it's free for a reseller tax ID. It's free. Okay. And then you can sell anything you want, but the main thing with a reseller tax ID is it allows you to purchase things for your business, whether it's inventory or office supplies or whatever, tax free. And you can also then have the ability to purchase wholesale. Okay. Every state's different. It might, here in Texas, it's free. In Oklahoma, it was like 20, $25. Not sure how much it is in other states, but okay, hold on a second. Let me scroll up and see what my question was here. Okay, so we had a question about how do you find out what the regulations are for Missouri? It doesn't matter. 15 mile. Okay. Yeah. And like I said, every state's different. And it's probably free here because Texas doesn't have state income tax. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not, but Texas doesn't have state income tax, which is nice. So all you do is you go Google, you GTS this shit, okay? You Google this shit. Let your fingers do the walking. Do I need a nursery license to sell plants in the state of blank? It's not rocket science, guys. But here's the thing. The Department of Agriculture is in place under, and the Department of Agriculture is statewide. It's every state has a Department of Agriculture, and they work under the USDA, the United States Department of Agriculture. Every state has something. I cannot stress to you enough how many times I come across people selling plants that don't have a license. But you know what? It doesn't matter if you're a hobbyist and you're going to sell one plant. It doesn't matter whether you're a business and you're going to sell 1,000 plants. It doesn't freaking matter. And I'm getting really passionate about this because it's there to protect. How do I put this? It's there to protect us. It's there to protect states. The Department of Agriculture, like down here in Texas, we can't sell, like outside of the lower Rio Grande Valley, I can't sell citrus plants. I know it really does, Deb. It pisses me off because I can't tell you. Everybody thinks it's so flippin' easy to get on here and sell plants and sell everything else, and it's not, guys. There's a lot of shit that goes into it. Start without permits license because they know that they can do what they're doing, but forget about the administration side. That's a good point. That's a good point. Yes, Julia, some plants are invasive in some in some states. And it's not even so much that. It's also pests as well. It's like down here, fire ants are huge. If I were to send out a plant that had fire ants in it to a state that doesn't have fire ants, do you know I can get fined like thousands of dollars for one plant? Thousands for one plant. You need a nursery license, period. Doesn't matter. Enough said. Anyway, sorry to burst your bubble about that, girl. But hell no, girl. I'm not doing that. Nope. Yeah. Not trying to burst your bubble, but I'm telling you, I wish, believe me, if there was a way that I could go into lives, not as Winter Wolf, but completely incognito, and ask these people, hey, do you have a nursery license? Hey, do you have a nursery license? Believe me, I would. Yeah. And Africats, it may push you off for a month or so, but you're required to get a dealer's license. So I'm working on it now. They come and inspect for the plant dealer. But yes, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I mean, there are, and here's the thing about nursery licenses, even seller tax permits. I don't care if you have your seller tax permit, that's on you. If you don't have your state seller tax permit to sell shit, then that's on you. Okay. But if you don't have a nursery license, that hurts all of us as plant sellers. All of us as plant sellers. Even when you sell yes, even when you sell locally, yes. In fact, we've got like a local flea market here, and someone from the USDA comes into that flea market, and they go up to every single plant seller and ask for a copy of their um, floral license. What's the best license for Texas? You need to go to the Department of Agriculture website and just do your research. It depends on how big you are, but you need at least a class. I want to say it's a class C, but I could be wrong with that. It could be a class B, but you'll have to look and see. It costs you $110 a year. They will come out and inspect. Sometimes you need soil tests, just depending on where you are sending to. And yeah, if you're shipping out of the state of Texas, or if you're in Florida and shipping out of the state of Florida, you've got to maintain all of these other regulations for all of these other states. Of course, I get everything in order to be a seller. I have your EIN. You don't, well, you didn't need the LLC. EIN is nice, but you didn't need the LLC until later. But you need a reseller tax permit. And if you are selling plants, you need a nursery license of some kind. You just need to Google GTS it. Google that shit. Do I need a license to sell plants in the state of blank? And then it'll give you all of the information that you need. And yes, Yeti Frog is correct. The license is to be sure you're not sending around diseased or infested plants. It is also to make sure that you're not sending infested species. Infested, invasive. Yeah, they come and do an inspection. Absolutely. Yes, and they're not scary people. I sent an email to my inspector last week, and he was like, hey, give me a call. And I spent about 20 minutes on the phone asking him about different stuff. And he was so nice and so helpful. And he's like, I'm here to help you, but I also have to help our state too. You know, I mean, your inspectors are there to help you become not successful, but to make sure you are following the law. Lots of record keeping. Yeah. $25 a year. That's it. Wow. I'd say I'd move. Well, you know, lobsters are good there, but that's, I don't want to move up to the, I don't want to move back to the cold. Yeah. They enforce. Okay. So let me just, I mean, I know you're getting tax receipts from a city and county. Then I can get your Department of Agriculture inspection. You're getting your tax receipts. What do you need? Why do you need those? Or is that just something totally different so that you can get your Department of Agriculture inspection? Google it. Vivatata. Google it. GTS it. It's easy. You've got to let your fingers do the walking, guys. If you guys want to have a business, or if you want to have a small hobby, or you want to have a side gig, it doesn't matter. If you're selling something live, as in a plant, you need a license, period. You can't say, oh, that's interesting. Okay. Chat GPT, yep. And now if we sell less than $500 a year, it's only five. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, it's not expensive. And guys, it's a business deduction, but you got to get it done. Yeah. Yeah. Where are you, Deb? Are you in Florida? Yeah. Florida has tons and tons more regulations and stuff like that. But as I say all the time, you got to think in terms of Florida and California both. They are huge import coasts. Huge import coasts. Okay, hold on. Yours is going to be about 100 if you sell under 2,500. For what? The nursery license or for your reseller tax ID? Yeah, the citrus is crazy. For nursery, your nursery license shouldn't have anything to do with the number of plants that you sell. Your nursery license has to do with what you sell and how much acreage you have. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very small, yeah, like we don't have much option here. Mine's 110 a year. Washington, yeah, I know. But it has to do with what you're selling and the size of your space. Reach out, Africats, reach out to someone physically at the Department of Agriculture and say, listen, Linda, I'm planning on selling alocasia, syngoniums, whatever, and I'm planning on, selling maybe 100 plants a month. What do I need? And they're going to tell you exactly what you need. Okay? Exactly what you need. But that's the thing. You've got to be able to let your fingers do the walking, or, get on the phone and physically talk to somebody. They're not there. They're not there to scare you. They're not there to deter you. They are there to protect us. I don't want some invasive weed or noxious weed or invasive pest coming into my state. I don't want to send anything from my state out either. So just do the right thing. The two things you need to have. And again, if you don't have your reseller tax ID from your state, or your sales tax permit, whatever you call whatever it's called in your state, that's on you. But I guarantee you that if Uncle Sam finds out that you're selling stuff and making money on stuff that you are selling, they're going to come for their piece of the pie if you don't have that reseller tax permit. Guaranteed. With that being said, the bigger thing though is the nursery license, the floral license, nursery license, whatever it's called, plant dealer license, whatever it's called. I feel like a broken record because we talk about this every single week, but it's important. Why are my pretty little plants? Oh my gosh. Yeah. My coffee is all the way across the room. Not all the way. It's like 3 feet away from me, but good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, absolutely. The reseller tax permit, reseller tax ID, state sales tax ID, whatever your state calls it, no matter how much it costs, whether it's $0, $5, whatever, um, it will help you to be able to purchase wholesale, which usually means, a cheaper price for you. It's all a small business. Yeah, people don't. People think, oh, let me get onto WhatNot. Let me get onto this app. Let me get onto this app. Look at all these people selling all this stuff. Let me do that too. They don't think about it. And it's what makes things more difficult for those of us who are trying to do this as a livelihood, who are trying to do this as an actual business, because then everybody gets in trouble, so to speak. You know what I mean? Lots of roadside stands out here in New York. Makes me wonder if they're doing the legwork. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to hope that if somebody is selling, no, Lulu, nope, I don't. I don't. Um, I'll come back to that in a second. I would like to think that roadside stands, especially those selling produce and stuff like that, have some kind of, because that's a totally different licensing that they also need. But Because I mean, anybody from the state can be driving by and go, "Ooh, let's go check in on them and see if they've got a license to sell that." So, no. Do I think that a lot of sellers on this app or any other um, app have their nursery license? Nope, I don't. I don't. That's not a bad idea, but Whatnot's never going to do that. Whatnot can't. They don't have the manpower, the woman power, the child power. They don't have any kind of power to, unfortunately, regulate it, because we've made that suggestion that when a seller applies to be a plant seller in the plant category, that they have to prove that they are licensed, and they just don't have the manpower. Yeah, they don't. They don't. There's a lot. No, you shouldn't feel ashamed to ask. You are armed with information. Now, I will tell you this: the majority of sellers, well, if the ones that I know that have for sure their nursery license, they will say in their profile, licensed nursery. They may or may not put their license number, and that's fine because you can always ask for that. Um, but yeah, most of them do. A pinned post when you start your live. Yeah, you can put it in your show notes, licensed in the state of blank with your nursery license. I have mine in my well, I don't think I have my number in my profile, but I have that I'm a licensed nursery in the state of Texas. Oh, big time. They get big time defensive. Yes, they do. Because I mean, if I've got it, if somebody asks me in my life, "Hey, are you licensed?" Hell yeah, I am. Give me a second. Let me go get my purse, and I'll tell you what my number is. I'll show it to you. I just got my renewal the other day, as a matter of fact. You are supposed to have that number on everything. Yes. Yes. Excellent advice. You're bringing any plant that you buy, whether you get it from anybody on here, another app, a friend, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever. I always, when I bring my stuff home, I spray it down with fungicide 3, the number 3, fungicide 3. It's a miticide, fungicide, and it does 3 things: miticide, fungicide, bactericide, viricide. Yeah, I do have it on my profile that I'm a licensed nursery. I just don't have my number there, and I should, but Home Depot, Lowe's, I think Walmart might even have it. No, Walmart doesn't have it, but Home Depot, Lowe's, it's like 12, 13 bottles for a spray bottle. It's called fungicide with the number 3 on it. I just ran out and threw the bottle away yesterday, so I don't have one to show you. I got to go get some more this morning, as a matter of fact. But I spray my plants down with it, and all surfaces, and just let them sit till they dry. And then I leave them off by themselves for, like, a few days, just whatever. Walmart, your Walmart has it. Fungicide 3. It's a miticide. I mean, it's good. It takes care of fungus like rust. Um, if you suspect any issues with fungus gnats when you first get your plant and stuff like that, um, it's good. It's fungicide, miticide, and I think it's a viricide for viruses, but I'm not 100% certain now of the third one. But it's good. I really like it. Yes, yes, you can. And it's unfortunate because, like, the big box stores, unfortunately, I was at, I don't know, a few months back, I was at Lowe's or Home Depot, one of the two, and just seeing what they had. Good morning, Fern City. Just to see what they had, and there was a guy from Costa Farms there going through the inventory, and he just had this disgusted look on his face, and he's picking up plant after plant after plant and throwing it into his cart, and I'm like, you guys really should educate these people on how to take care of these plants, because if you've been to a big box store, Walmart, Home Depot, whatever, you know that the employees just drown these plants. I can't tell you how many times I'll go into Walmart just to see what they have, and I'm constantly dumping out water dumping up, dumping out water. Okay. Um, and he's like, we do educate them, but the turnover here is terrible. Terrible. Yeah. Hmm. Robert, that's just $100,000. If you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. But it's just so that you can go into that listing, click on it, um, and click the little notification flag. That way, every time I go live, you'll get a notification that I'm live. If you want to pay me $100,000 to get notified, that's okay too. But it's just a link so that you can always know when we are going live. So trust me, if somebody wants to pay me $100,000, go right ahead. But you don't have to. No, honey, no, no, not yet. I'm hoping they'll be in soon. No, I'm totally out. I'm totally out. I'm gonna have to, if my order doesn't come in, I'm gonna have to revert to doing mosquito bit tea. So, but yeah, I'm hoping my order comes in. If not tomorrow, then Monday, because I know a lot of people need it. Drown, we're lucky if they water ours at all. Landscape pay by scan plan. Yeah, it does. But you know what works really well for spider mites, Kelly, is just regular old alcohol. Get a spray bottle, put some 70% alcohol in it, and spray down your plant. Works great for spider mites. Centipedes in your soil. I've Googled it, but yeah, should you be worried about centipedes in your soil? Yeah, you should, because, you know, centipedes eat things. Oh, you don't get paid till that's interesting. Okay. There's 50-50, some drowning and some begging for water. It's crazy. It's crazy. I and I've had employees at any of these stores. I've had employees look at me crazy. It's like, what are you doing? I just cleaned that area. Well, okay, I'm saving this plant. I'm not a plant hoarder, I'm a plant hero. I saw a t-shirt that said something like that on it. But um I know, right? So, and here's another thing that I just wanted to bring up. Those of you who are plant sellers and are either doing it legitimately or figuring out how to do it legitimately. And I know, it's February. Hopefully, this winter crap won't be with us for too terribly long, but you never know. I just want to touch on heat packs for a minute. If it wasn't for us plant people, the plant would, right? I know. Ooh, let's start a local chapter. We'll call it, um, yeah, WWPPA, Winter Wolves Plant Protection Agency. um, and we'll just put everything underneath that. But anyway, heat packs. Let's talk about heat packs for just a second, because I've gotten plants for my own personal collection. I've got 3 orders yesterday. And out of the 3 orders, I had requested heat packs on 2 of them because they were coming from really cold states. Okay. And only one of those 2 boxes was the heat pack properly dealt with. So you need to research that. There's several different kinds of heat packs out there. There's Heat Pack USA. There's, what's the other one? Heat Pack USA and shucks. Yes. Uniheat. Thank you. I mean, they're just a 72-hour heat pack. But my point being is we've used both, and I like them both equally. The ones from Uniheat are the ones that usually have the adhesive on one side, which I don't even use that. Okay. And I'll tell you why in a second. But when you open up the package, the plastic package, that's when the heat pack gets activated, when it hits the air. I usually just jostle it around a little bit. You don't have to, do anything else to it. It just, the exposure to the air is what gets it going. But I see so many sellers just toss a heat pack in the bottom of the box. They don't wrap it, they don't tape it, they don't do anything to it. Yeah, I've received them too that weren't even warm, but I got one last night that it was still like super warm. But if you look at the directions of these heat packs, it tells you specifically make sure to wrap this in a piece of paper or something. So you've got to wrap it. Okay, I use big newsprint, like the big size, whatever size that is. It's like 24 by 36 or something. I tear it in half, and then you wrap it in paper, and then you don't put it at the bottom of the freaking box. You should be taping it to one of the flaps. I usually will tape it to one of the interior flaps, and that way, you know, it's not, because heat rises. We know heat rises. But in a box, it doesn't really matter. If I've got a heat pack on the bottom of my box and then I've got all these plants sitting on top of it, guess what's going to happen to that one or two plants that happen to be in contact with that heat pack, wrapped or not? So put it at the top of the box. Don't fry your plant. Morning, Cat K. If you read the package, it says put a second box inside the first box with air holes to let the warmth dissipate into it. Yeah, it depends, and that I think depends on the manufacturer of the heat pack. I think that might be a little bit of overkill personally, but again, I follow the instructions whenever I get heat packs from another company that I'm not used to. I always read the directions and do that. Yeah, the top is way better. Aw, thank you, Cindy. What's your practice around watering plants prior to shipping, especially the color shades? This is a really hard one for me because I sell a lot of propagations. I sell a lot of things that have recently come out of water propagation that have to remain moist. And I haven't had too many people have issues with it. Um, Other than us, um, delayed the package and they've been arriving terribly in terrible condition, which, WhatNot is great. They'll, if you do item damage in shipping, they will take care of it and the seller does not get dinged. But I have a hard time. I struggle with that one because, sometimes I feel like if this plant gets delayed more than a couple of days and I send it out totally dry, it could cause issues. So I'm actually kind of, given thought processes to changing how I actually ship something. So yeah, I got, two of the plants were completely saturated in dead on arrival. They got, yeah. How do you feel about holding orders for frozen states? Well, here in the plant category, now on WhatNot, you have 2 business days to ship out your orders. If you are in the plant category, you have up to 8 days. That is entirely up to you. If you want to hold it, hold it. If your customer asks you to hold it, hold it. Would I charge somebody a fee for it? No. 4-inch material. Wait, what? Bush on Friday. I will water them well on Saturday morning. Put a fan in the greenhouse to dry them off. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, if you water them, I don't know. I almost think that watering them well, I don't know. I think if you're planning then on shipping it out on Monday, I think it might be too wet. I know I've been charged to hold too, and it's stupid. I had someone who used moist cotton circles at the bottom of the pot, then wrapped with plastic wrap. That worked with that, right? Yes, that works out really well. I don't really like. I had a thought. Hold on a second. The cotton padding works great. Um, the cotton padding works great. And that's certainly a good idea. Some people do like moist paper towels around the top of the soil instead of making the soil so super wet. See, I'm looking at doing different shipping for my stuff that I do in Fluval as well, because I've been shipping the actual Fluval, the actual self-watering cup to people, and I'm having people, tell me that the Fluval is, even though I'm wrapping it well, the Fluval is still coming out. So, Faith Glass House Garden. Yep, get a nursery license and you'll answer all those questions. Because I tell you right now, you shouldn't be shipping to those 3 states. You can't ship to those 3 states. And if you are shipping to those states without a nursery license, that's all I'm saying. My held orders show overdue. Where is the 8-day rule? It says 5 days on WhatNot, but we know as plant sellers it's 8 days. So you'll have to reach out to WhatNot support and say, listen, this order was placed on, listen, Linda, this order was placed on day such and such, and I'm getting dinged for an overdue package that's not technically overdue yet. Hawaii, California, and Arizona. Don't ship to those states. Not sure how much heat and insulation usually cost, but I've seen some people charge. No, it's not. It is not. Okay. A heat pack, $5 to $8, depending on the brand. $5 to $8. Insulation, maybe another $4 or $5. Most of the time, I don't think I've ever charged more than $10 to $12 for insulation in the heat pack. Yes, Department of Agriculture is extremely strict on what can come into their states. Yes. And believe you me, your banana tree charged you. Good. Okay. I think I've paid over $15 for sure. Yeah, but keep in mind, there are greedy ass sellers. On every single app out there, there are greedy ass sellers. Trust me, I said it yesterday in my live. I love making money. But I should probably sell my plants for a hell of a lot higher than what I sell my plants for. No, I don't ship to Arizona, California, or Hawaii. Have I shipped to Arizona? Yes. Until I realized that, oops. Yeah, renaming the plant to get it to be, here's a new variety. Okay, perfect example. There's a new Gisenia pothos. Some sellers are calling it a Gisenia Bright. Some sellers are calling it a Gold Rush because that's what Costa Farms calls it, is the Gold Rush. It's just a highly variegated Gisenia, and sellers are getting more money for it. And whenever I come across a Bright or a Gold Rush, I'm going to tell you guys exactly that in my lives. This is just a highly variegated Gisenia. I'm still starting it at $8 instead of $30. No, there's not, to my knowledge. I charge $12 for insulation heat. That's double the cost of the material. But yes, Fern City, that's perfectly fine. $12 is fine, but $20, there are people who no, you cannot. No, you cannot. Okay, let me back up and say, okay, everybody, jot down this website. If you are a plant seller, jot down this website. I'm just going to put it in here. nationalplantboard.org. Plantboard.org. Okay? When you go to that website, there's going to be, scroll down just a little bit, and it'll have like laws and regulations, and then it's going to bring up every single state, and every single state has a different PDF of what is required to be able to ship into that state. California, Hawaii, and Arizona have, like, I don't know, 20, 30 pages of regulations. And this is all stuff that you have to be licensed and certified for. I don't like predatory bugs. No, I don't like predatory bugs. I think I don't want predatory bugs. If I see that a seller is selling plants with predatory bugs, I don't buy, because I don't need I don't need. No. So $15 alone for insulation, heat, 8. Feel bad for people in cold states. Yeah, I know. There but what are you going to do if you want that plant? If you need that plant, if you have to have that plant in your life. But yeah, I think there are definitely sellers who overcharge for stuff. Your state doesn't require a license to sell since I'm not a nursery. It doesn't matter. I'm not a nursery either. I sell out of my home. I sell out of my little tiny greenhouse. I'm not a nursery. What state are you in, Robin's World? North Carolina. Do you need a license to Google, stop it. Do I need a license to sell? Oops. Sell plants in North Carolina. Yes, you generally need a license to sell nursery stock, trees, shrubs, vines, perennials, and most plants. Nursery certificate is required for growers, while a nursery dealer certificate is needed for those buying and reselling plants. So yeah, you do need a license. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying, though, guys. You have emails with the agricultural that told you so. Over 600 plants or over $600? It's probably 600 plants. Small nurseries, if you grow and sell less than $10,000 worth of plants per year, you may qualify for a lower cost registered nursery certificate. A new nursery license is typically $20. I mean, here's the thing though. So, all right, let's just say you don't need a nursery license here in your state, North Carolina. But if you're shipping out to places like any other state, just go to that National Plant Board. You have to have all of the proper documentation on that box, meaning you've got to have inspections to make sure that you're in compliant. Okay? So why would you take the chance and say, well, my state doesn't require me to because I'm only selling a few plants a year or a few plants a month or a few plants a week? Why would you take the chance? Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. The term ignorance is bliss is not a realistic term. And I'm sorry to be harping on this issue again, but guys, if your state requires it, get it. But that's not the only issue. There are other states that you're going to be shipping to that have requirements that you have to meet. It's kind of like anybody who's ever done any kind of import from overseas. By the time that those plants get to customs looks at all the paperwork, and if there's even one teeny weeny thing, like a word misspelled that wasn't correct, a misspelled word or something's not right on that customs sheet, that whole order gets destroyed. And that's what's going to wind up happening to your stuff. It's going to get it's going to get destroyed. Yes, I'll beg for forgiveness instead of asking for permission. No, absolutely. How do you make sure? Just put a note in your show notes. Cannot ship to blah, 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 blah. Right now, though, if you don't have a nursery license, all states are restricted for you. All states are restricted. And I'm not saying that you can't ship to California. I'm not saying that you can't ship to Hawaii or Arizona. My point of giving you that website of nationalplantboard.org was compliance. You have to have the proper documentation for everything that is going into that particular state. So yeah, you can ship to Arizona, you can ship to California, you can ship to Florida, but I'm telling you, every state has their own regulations. Some states, like Oklahoma, has 7 pages. California has like 30 something. So, but you've got to be certified. You've got to be in compliance. And how does that happen? That happens through your Department of Agriculture. And can you get in compliance if you don't have a nursery license or a floral certificate of some kind? No, you can't get in compliance. I can't just walk up to somebody and say, oh, I don't have a nursery license, but I need to get certified that my plants don't have fire ants so that I can ship them out of state. They're going to go, do you have a nursery license? No. Well, you need to get a nursery license first. Oh, really? I've never been. That's kind of interesting. Okay. That's very interesting. I would imagine that is true. Probably Arizona too, because Arizona borders with um, Mexico. How do you get an inspection on your plants to ship to states who require inspections? So Texas, Leafy Green Plant Co. Contact your inspector, and he's going to tell you right now, if you are shipping out of the state of Texas, you shouldn't be selling plants without getting in compliance. I'm telling you, just you've got an inspector. If you've got Yes, absolutely. So once your inspector, when they come, once you get your nursery license, perfect. You should have been given the name of your inspector. And if you haven't been given the name of your inspector, just call them up and say, "Hey, who's assigned to my area? I've got some questions." Yeah, just because they'll tell you who is assigned to your area, no problem. Now here in Texas, I mean, I had my nursery license in place for like 2 or 3 months until they showed up and knocked on my door during a live. I was doing a live plant sale, as a matter of fact, one night. Yeah, but yeah, if they didn't give you your contact, sometimes they put it in the paperwork, but sometimes they don't. Just call them and say, hey, here's my nursery license. Can you please just tell me who my inspector is, who my contact is? I've got some questions, and they'll help you. They'll work with you. They'll help you out. You need a separate cert to ship out of your state. It depends on where I'm shipping to. It depends on where I'm shipping to. You're welcome. If I'm shipping to, like I was saying before, if I'm shipping to Arizona, I have to be in compliance with everything that Arizona requires. If I'm shipping to Maryland, I have to be in compliance with everything that Maryland requires. By shipments from Plant Newbie, he always has his Florida. Yeah, Florida has to have inspection stickers on everything. In fact, every state should have inspection stickers. And that's another good way to tell that your plant seller's probably not in compliance with their particular state, or maybe that they're not even licensed at all. We're in the process actually of redoing how we do things to be able to put our compliance certs on all of our boxes. So that'll be happening in the next uh, couple of shows. But it's not a big deal for us right now because it's all kind of in the process, and Department of Ag is aware of it. So they're okay with it for right now, as long as I'm not selling anything that is invasive and I'm taking into account all states that I might be shipping to that have strict guidelines, like Arizona, Hawaii, etc. You go to the USPS website, you're supposed to check the box for perishable. It's a much higher cost. Yeah, well, we don't want USPS to even know that we have something fragile in a box, or that we've got live plants, or live animals is different. But because they drop kick those boxes. They drop kick them. They will. They will provide you everything that you need that has to go in your boxes that's coming out of your state. But like I said, if you're shipping to the state of I'll just Oklahoma, and Oklahoma requires that any plants coming in from the state of Texas have a fire ant cert, that's got to be on there. If you're shipping to Missouri, and that state requires all plants coming from Texas to have a June bug certification, that's got to be on there. So yeah. So you can pick who you buy from. I love that. I mean, trust me. I thought I knew everything, and like I said, I had a nice conversation with my state inspector last week, and I was like, oh, that's what I'm saying. Ignorance is not bliss, and you can't beg for forgiveness. Mailed a 35-pound box of books for your library, and the lady just dropped it on top of. Oh, they do. They don't care. They drop kick them. They seriously drop kick them. And I've had people who have said, "Yeah, it's. I'm telling you, it's a full-time job, just trying to figure it all out." But I had there's somebody on this app who says that they're a USPS supervisor, and they're like, that we're under strict guidelines that we can't drop kick the boxes, and we're supposed to do this and we're supposed to do that. I'm like, dude, do you want me to show you my ring video from when they drop kicked a box onto my porch? It says to certain states you must ship bare root because those states want. Yeah, bare root is another issue, yes, but that doesn't mean that they don't. I mean, whether I ship bare root or not, I still have to comply with that particular state's um, guidelines, regulations. But yeah, I don't like shipping bare root. I think that's dangerous for the plants. I think they do require. I think they do. Um, I think that's dangerous for the plants, and I don't like to. I don't like to buy unrooted cuttings. It is wrong. It is wrong. Most of them don't, but I think it's also wrong to think that um, that people aren't crappy with your packages before they divert it. Yeah, I've seen it with my own eyes too. I've seen it with my own eyes, and it's not just USPS. It's UPS too. It's FedEx too. They're all bad. They're all severely overworked, underpaid. Um, you know, yeah, you shouldn't ship bare root unless you have informed your customers that you're shipping bare root. Not at all. So, um, I mean, like with my cuttings, shipping in Fluval, I even said this week, I might do this a little bit differently. I might ship them in moss, but they're still not going to be bare root. They're going to be shipped, and those roots are going to be protected somehow. So, but yeah, it's a never ending battle. Do you get around? No, Kat, send me a message. I got a question for you anyway. Yeah, I use cocoa quires, but they still consider that soil. So seeing one person does doesn't mean everyone's doing it. I've seen a lot of them. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There are amazing. My driver that I've got now that comes and picks up hundreds of packages a week. He's a rock star and he doesn't complain. I leave snacks and water and stuff outside, and they're very appreciative. My UPS driver is awesome. I got a big package, I don't know, a month or two ago that was arriving all damaged and crappy. And he rang my doorbell and he's like, ma'am, I just want you to see this box before I mark it as delivered because I want to know whether you're going to accept it or not. And I mean, the box was banged up, but the contents were fine, you know? And you can't be spending too much time unpacking, finding a happy medium. Yeah. Yeah, he is very much appreciated. My guy is very much appreciated. Spending too much time on packing, finding happy meal. Yeah, packing is you have to be able to pack well. You don't want to have movement in your box after you put your plants in or anything in your box. Excuse me. There should be no movement, so that's where filler paper comes in. So just make sure that you are properly packing your items. If you're not selling plants, you're still selling breakables or something like that. Use bubble wrap, do whatever you can do. You feed your mailman. Oh, I wish you were closer to me, K Dub. We would so have so much fun. You love to cook. I love to cook. Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Dinner plates. Oh my gosh. Yeah, my guy is married with a couple of young kids. We've actually put like little toys and stuff like that out there for his kids, and there's always snacks. That's nice. Kindness is the key to a lot of things. Well said, my friend. Well said. You know what? There is so much hatred and so much negativity in this world. We do not need any more of that. Oh, being a delivery driver has got to be ridiculous. My brother in law worked for UPS years ago. And I mean, and I don't know how it is today, but he couldn't finish his job until his truck was completely empty. You're a pain in the ass. Yeah, well, I'm not for most people. So, yeah. I've got a little tiny fridge out there that holds like four of those mini water bottles, and I put some packages of chocolate in there. I got to restock that, as a matter of fact, today. And then I do like chips and cookies and stuff in I have it in a clear sided tote because my front porch gets really dusty. So I just keep it out there for them, and they can get into it whenever they want to, and it's fun. I like doing that. I don't think you're a pain in the ass, K Dub, but I don't live with you, so everybody thinks I'm a pain in the ass. No, everybody thinks I'm a bitch, but that's okay. Has free water and snacks. Aw, that's nice. Yeah, I have a shirt that says I'm not for everyone. Hello, banana farmer. Why aren't you working? Yeah, you couldn't. That's true. You snuck in. See? I see how you are. Yeah, yep, she is an asshole. Yep, she's even got a keychain to prove it. Hey guys, make sure. Oh, you're waiting on surgeon. Nice. Okay. Make sure you come in to tomorrow night's game night. We're doing trivia night, and it's all fun. It's all fun, guys. I mean, we'll have a few small, like dollar, $2 items that we're going to be running throughout the show. But it's all free. It's fun. Come on in, hang out with us. Bring your wine, bring your Coke, whatever. We had fun. Oh my God, we had fun last night. I love your little banana. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there are a few people who were in Banana Farmer's show last night who are in here right now and can attest to the fact that we had some fun. We had fun last night on our show. Um, but we're doing game night on my channel here, so change the time from 10 to 7:30. You mean from 7:30 to 10? Wait, I'm so confused. Oh, he pushed the surgery up sooner. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I know. The list is exorbitant. But that's what I'm saying. I have a nursery license. I have in my profile, I'm a licensed nursery. You want to know my number? I'll go get it. It's like 20 feet away from me. I'll show it to you. But, you know, yeah, it is amazing. And as a plant buyer, that should be important information to you to know that somebody is a licensed, that they're doing things the right way. And if somebody's not doing it the right way, send them here. Send them here. We'll set them straight. We will set them straight. I know, right? Good thing you are, girl. Anyway. Thanks. Hey, I learned too. I learned too. Trust me. I Your learning should never stop. Your learning should never stop. Learn something new every day. Even if it's just one more way to tick off Banana Farmer. I've learned something. No, I'm kidding. I've ticked off. I've ticked off. I try to learn something new every single day. And if I don't, I just take a nap. No, I'm kidding. But yeah. So that was the big thing. And if you missed it, we had a huge, huge discussion about, once again, needing that nursery license. So we're not going to rehash it again in this week, but I'm sure that we're going to come up with it again next week. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. How do you handle an order where they don't order enough plants to get priority? What? One plant should go priority. One plant should go priority. So part of the problem, are you doing like 5 plants to the box? Is it Fern? Yeah, you doing like 5 plants to the box, Fern? Nope, don't base it on weight. That's a problem. How many plants are you putting in a box? How many plants can you comfortably fit into a large priority box? Not a flat rate box, a regular large. But that's what I'm gonna help you figure that out. I'm gonna help you fix that right now. Because if they only buy one, okay, let me show you how I got it set up on mine. I do 5 plants to the box. If you're doing small stuff like succulents and stuff like that, you can probably fit more. But what you need to do is you need to set up a shipping profile that's 5 plants to the box, okay? When you set up that shipping profile, hold on, let me go to it. When you go into that, where'd it go? There it is. Okay. So when you go into your shipping profiles and you do your plants 5 to a box, what you're doing is, this is the important thing right here. If they only buy one thing, 5 plants to a box, it weighs 1 pound. And then you're going to come down here to bundling options, and this is where you tell it 5 plants to the box or 7 plants to the box or whatever it is. Okay? If you're weighing your plants and doing it based on weight, then it's always going to go ground if somebody doesn't buy more than one. But this way, if they only buy one plant, it automatically goes priority. Automatic. Does that make sense? It doesn't matter. How many can you fit into one box? And you can always, if you're doing like plants in one show and I mean, how many can you do? How many can you fit? If you can fit 10 in a box, then change it, still make it 1 pound so that it goes priority. You should never be sending your plants out and not sending them priority. Never. Because somebody's going to pay. Alexa, stop. Somebody's going to pay $9.21 for the first plant, and then they're going to get the next 4 plants, 10 plants, whatever it is, however you set this bundling up. for free shipping. It's the important thing is that the first one goes priority. Got it? Yeah. That's how you do it. Just set up your shipping profile, and you can have a couple different ones. Just remember that if you have, let's say you have, you're doing a live and you've got an item that's 5 plants. Let's say you're selling all these plants for 5 items to a box, and then you're selling tissue cultures in little tiny bags, and you do, ooh, I can fit 20 to a box. Well, what's going to wind up happening though is because it's 2 different shipping profiles, they're going to get dinged twice on shipping. So be careful if you're selling different shipping profiles within your show, if that makes sense. You can, but yeah, not on this app. Well, what happens is they don't have their shipping profile set up right. The first plant being only $5, if you only buy one plant, it's going to go ground, and that's going to be a great way to try and kill your plant. So if I go into, you don't know how what works, Fern City. Yeah, if they're not doing they're doing their shipping wrong if they're doing it based on weight. You don't know how the TC guy, how what works, the shipping? Thank you. Yeah, it works for me. It works for me. Now, when I've sold tissue cultures in the past, I sold only tissue cultures in that particular live. I had a tissue culture profile where I could fit like 20 to the box, and I would still. You're going to get charged $9.21 for your first tissue culture. You might only pay $4 or $10 or whatever for it, but you're going to get charged $9.21 for your first tissue culture, and then the next 19 are free or whatever it is. This way, they're going to pay $9.21 for plant number 1, and the next 4 or however many you set up in your bundle will be free shipping. And then once they hit that max, it starts over. Okay, and then you have to remind people if you need a heat pack, if you're selling heat packs, they need 1 per box. It incentivizes me to buy more to make sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you get free shipping, hell yeah, let's max that bitch out. Why not? Why not? So that's how you do that. Just go into, you know how to get to your shipping profiles, right, Fern? Okay, perfect. Yeah, just create one. I mean, I have like a gazillion different ones in here, but like here, I had when I was selling air plants, I could fit so many in, or tissue cultures, I could fit so many in. I still set it up to 1 pound, but then I bundled like 15 to the box. So you can set it up however you want to. If you're selling tiny little plants and you can fit 10 to a box, set up a profile for that. If you're doing a mixture of stuff, you're just going to kind of have to figure out what the happy medium is for the number of plants per box. But that's how you always get it to go priority. Because if it's not, if something live, if a plant's going to go ground, it's probably going to die. Probably even in non-winter times, it's probably going to die because it's taking too long to get to them. I'm going to sell books too, but with media mail, the price changes per pound. How to do that? The price changes per pound. So you're going to have to, how do you do that? I haven't done media mail in a really long time. So hold on a second. Let me see. Shipping costs. Nope. Shipping profiles. I'm looking. So yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I've never sold on this app on for media mail, but that's a really good point. It should. Oh, it automatically calculates when you choose book category. There you go. Perfect. Thank you for helping out on that one, Tiny. That makes sense. That makes sense. So just make sure your category is correct for the item that you're selling, not necessarily your show, but the actual item that you're selling. If you're doing book on screen, make sure that that book falls under the book category. Yeah, that makes sense. And if you're selling, things that are considered, they have to go ground no matter what they are, and they have to go with the little H, the hazmat sticker on them. That would be anything that comes with a battery. If you're selling any electronics with a battery, if you're selling nail polish, or anything like that, it has to go ground via hazmat. So you need to make sure you check the box that says hazardous materials, because that's another thing that, apparently USPS is starting to crack down on, is that a lot of people ship like nail polish without it being in a hazmat. That just means that it can't go on an airplane to be shipped to you. So that's why it has to go ground and ground only. So, and same thing with batteries. If you're selling electronics or anything that has a battery, you're not supposed to ship it other than, yeah, I know. And I mean, we have accidentally ourselves. And it's like crap. But the next time we sell that item or whatever, it's like, okay, we've got to do it this way. Because sometimes we forget too, but we don't sell stuff with batteries that terribly often that we don't do a hazmat for. So, but yeah, it happens. It happens. That's not the bigger thing. The bigger thing is making sure that your stuff is cataloged or categorized so that if it's a plant, it goes priority. So just change that to 1 pound and then bundle up how many plants you can do per box. That's what I would do. And that way, no matter, because I have a lot of people who only buy 1 or 2 plants. Yeah, yeah, you and me both. Yeah, I gotta get moving on here too. But yeah, we do this show every Thursday morning, guys. And if you've been here since the beginning, we got a little heated about nursery licenses and stuff like that. Definitely not trying to discourage anyone from selling plants on this app or any other app. I just want you guys to be legal about it. Be legal about it. The link at the bottom of the screen, if you're new to this show, if you'll click on that link and click the notification flag, anytime we go live, it will let you know that we have gone live, because I do a lot of pop-ups as well. Every Monday, I am doing a plant session series. It's an educational series, lasts anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour. I do also multicast that to YouTube, so you can always go back and watch it later. But this past week, we talked about basic plant botany. Oh, and somebody asked about plant taxonomy. Was that you, Julia? Julia, I think that was you. Message me, honey, and I'll point you in the right direction for the plant taxonomy. Yeah. Anyway, this week we're talking about substrates. Tuesday morning, I'm doing an all about LECA little demonstration showing you how to put your planties in LECA. And aside from that, Friday night, tomorrow night, is trivia night. It is all fun and games. Bring your wine, get in your PJs, get comfy, have some fun with us. We're going to have a blast. Hopefully we're going to have a blast doing some trivia. And yeah, so make sure you're following us. Make sure you are ready to have some fun tomorrow night. And you can always message me on this app. I am on here several times a day, and I am usually very willing and able to answer most questions. But anyway, oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being awesome too. Guys, if you aren't following K-Dub, she's got some gorgeous plants, and she's a hoot to watch too. Although last week I popped in there and you were like so anxiety ridden over this winter weather, and I'm like, oh, wow. That's somebody that I would definitely buy from, because you're so anxiety. You and who's the other one that I was in the other night, and she was like so anxiety ridden over sending. Oh, it was Plant Mama Bear. She was so anxiety ridden. She was like, I start to hyperventilate when I think about having to wrap these plants and send them out to you guys, because some of you guys are just like in frozen states still, and I'm like, oh my god, that is like so freaking awesome, that people care that much about their plants. And it's like I told people yesterday in the live, until that plant that you have bought in my live actually goes out my door and is picked up by USPS, I still consider it mine. So very worried about the people that are oh yeah, yeah. And this weather has been crazy. Here it's going to be like in the upper 70s, almost 80 for the next couple of days. And then I don't know. Everybody else just seems like it's still in such a deep freeze. Mother Nature is pissed off this year. She is pissed off. But I appreciate when a seller is passionate about what they're selling, as opposed to, hey, here's this remote control. You should buy this. You need this. It's nice. It's a little used, a little dirty. Ooh, it's really dirty. Anybody want this remote? You want this remote control? $500. Just be you. Just be uniquely you. We are in South Texas. We're close to South Padre Island. Why did you want my remote? Oh, the floor is yours, my love. The floor is yours. You missed it. You missed the big heated one, because I noticed you came in kind of late to this morning, but you missed the big heated one that we've had. But shoot away, girl. You're probably not going to say anything different than I have, so it'll be helpful for people to hear it from another licensed nursery seller. I live in the frozen tundra of New York and have purchased plants out of Florida. I was amazed at the wonderful shipping that was done. Was detoured everywhere. Oh my gosh, I know, right? Conroe, Texas. Nice. Nice. So yes, feel free. And K Dub, you want to co-host instead of typing? You want to co-host for a few minutes? Okay. Hold on. Let me get you. Invite to co-host. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you? Oh,
Can you
you're
hear me?
shopping. You're shopping.
I am. I am. I'm at the grocery store. But
Oh,
I
okay.
always have WhatNot on. What? I never want to miss anything. So I missed whatever the drama was about the nursery license. But what I will say is that getting the nursery license really is the best way to go. One, it legitimizes you. Um, and you get so much help from the inspectors. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I think I told Pat this before, but when the inspector came to inspect my soil and all that stuff, she was asking questions about my business, and when I told her that I was selling on WhatNot, she said we have so many issues with that because of plants being shipped to them to people, and they're having issues. And she's like, so they actually tell people not to buy from WhatNot because most of the people aren't licensed. So I just feel like I don't know how much it costs in your state. I think all in with soil samples and everything, it's $50 per soil sample for every genus of plant that you have. And I have them all. So it
Mm-hmm.
probably costs about $500 total. But for someone who is just getting a nursery license and maybe they don't want to ship to California and all that stuff, it's going to cost you $35 here in Florida. It is worth it. It's worth it for the education. It's worth it for the help, and it legitimizes you. If someone, everyone, there's so much, of course, friendly competition on this app, but if you had to choose from someone who just kind of willy nilly sells stuff or someone who's taking their
Mm-hmm.
business serious, I would be willing to bet that you're going to buy from the person that's taking their business serious. I'm not saying
Yep.
that everyone that isn't licensed doesn't take their business seriously, but is it a business if you don't have a license? That's the question.
Yep.
So get the nursery license. Again, I don't know what the drama was because I'm glad I missed it because I hate drama.
It wasn't
But
drama.
get
We
it.
just
It'll
had a
be
little
so
heated
helpful.
discussion about it. You know, like we do every Thursday, we have a little heated discussion. Guys, get your nursery license.
We do. But just do it. And listen to Pat. Patty is an amazing resource for all the sellers that are on this app. She never tells you anything that's wrong. She will tell you stuff that's basically from her experience and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So just do it. Just do it. If you have questions, I'm more than happy to answer. If you're in Florida, I can help you. If you're not in Florida, I'm gonna say Google is your probably your best friend because I don't know. But it's definitely
GTS.
worth it.
GTS.
So get it. Get your license.
Does
That's
anybody
all I
have
want to
any
say.
questions for K Dub or any comments
Oh, I
about what
like.
she has said?
I'm okay with questions. If you've ever been in my show, we spend most of the time answering questions
Oh, girl, you know, you've been
and
in my show.
talking about plants.
All right. Thank you,
So
love.
yeah, and my inbox is open. I'm always happy to answer. You got it. Have a great day,
Hey, you
Pat.
too, darling. All right, let's see. I think you have to disconnect. Let's see.
Oh, how do I do that? Do I
I
just
think if you just log out of the
I could
show
just
and then you
go out?
can pop out.
That's what I'll do. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye, girl. All right. So there you have it. Oh, and she popped back. Well, she's still there. Well, we're getting ready
Oh,
to end
what?
live.
Put me
Let me
right
see.
back.
Hold.
There's got to be a way to take me out.
There has to be. Hold on. Here we go. Oh,
Let's
remove
see.
co-host. Okay, there you go. Oops, sorry. I like bumped her out before I meant to really bump her out. But anyway, so yeah, absolutely. There. Hey, I figured it out. Um, there's another awesome seller who's telling you nothing different than I have. So, if you have any questions, there are a few of us on this app who are more than willing, probably more than a few, but there are a few of us on this app who are more than willing to help. And that's one of the reasons why I do this just about every week. I took a month or so off with doing this because of the holidays and everything else. And now, here we are. And sometimes we don't talk about anything other than plant care, but lately it seems like we've been having to delve more into it's a brand new year. People want to start this new hobby, people want to start this new business, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. You learn so much since discovering what. Absolutely. It is a very, very helpful community for the most part. There are some larger sellers who won't give you the time of day, and that's okay. There are smaller sellers who won't give you the time of day, and that's okay. Find your people, find your community, figure out who you gel with. But with that being said, does anybody have any other questions before we end for today? We'll be back again next Thursday. Game night's tomorrow night, so make sure you come in, pop in at least for a little while, play some trivia with us. Okay, you're a play. Good, good. I appreciate it. I love that. You absolutely, Tiny. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You're born in Corpus. Nice. We're what, about 2.5 ish, 3 hours, I think, from Corpus. So, yeah. All right, guys. Be kind to someone. Do something good for yourself today. And by all means, you know, we'll see y'all soon. Let's see. Is there anybody we can raid? Hold on. Who do we want to raid? Y'all want to go into, let's go into Emerald Roots. We raid each other back and forth. So let's go see Brandon and Emerald Roots. Get your wolves ready, guys. Have a great day. Bye.